everybody, welcome to the weekly Unreal Engine live stream. I'm losing my microphone already again, but we are good.
And that's what that is.
Yeah, so I'm glad to be back from Oculus Connect. No more Potato Cam login. Thanks for bearing with us last week while Ray and I gave an update from the floor there. So on that note, we'll probably be doing a full-on live stream with the team to actually go over the creation of Bullet Train, but we had such a great time out there. On to today. So we got Jon Jones in town. He's kicking it with us for the week, and we're talking about, I'm losing mic again. We are talking about some of the latest updates to Marketplace, actually, and the new publishing portal that went live. Jon's been working with the team quite a bit to gather y'all's feedback and implement new features into the tools we provide for both people that are creating content for Marketplace and developers that are pulling content from Marketplace. So really excited to roll some of this stuff out to you. And then, yeah, Alex is going to take us to the news and community spotlight. And yeah, let's kick off to that, shall we?
All right. First things up, as a lot of you have probably already noticed, the Epic Mega Jam got its third and final major sponsor here. It's NVIDIA, as some of you have actually guessed accurately. We've got really awesome things. We're going to have a series of drawings perhaps, and another drawing for a Titan X. But first off, we want to see how many submissions we get. And then based on how many submissions we get, we're going to be raffling off a series of NVIDIA Shield. It's the game controller plus screen all kind of built together.
It's Integra 4 Shield. So the cool thing here is, like, we normally, this microphone, I'm going to kill it. We normally get, right around 40 to 45 submissions. We already have 43 teams that have registered. So we sent the call out for, hey, just let us know. It's not required, but let us know if you're putting a team together, so at least we can prepare to make Aller stream forever. But no, we at least want to know kind of what's coming. This is gonna kill me.
We'll just go over there and staple it on.
Yeah, thanks. If I get some duct tape, that'd be amazing. And the sheep are falling. Great. So perfect tearaway, Shelly. Thank you.
Whoa, the transitions.
No, but the idea here is that, we expect a lot this time, so pre-register if you can. If not, it's no big deal. We'll still take you after the fact. But yeah, if we get 50 submissions, which we are pretty much on track to do, we'll raffle off a shield, 50 to 75. We'll do more than 75, 3, and then if we get over 100, we'll kick out 5. And yeah. The Titan X is really great. It's signed by the NVIDIA CEO, Jensen Huang, which you probably saw at the on stage with Tim at the keynote back in at GDC this last year when they unveiled it. So
that was very exciting.
Really excited to give those out. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Speedtree's in here too. They're tossed onto the Epic Awards, and we are also going to have some drawings from them. And then of course Algorithmic, who has their own award category. So if you've been
those guys.
Yeah, if you've been thinking about joining their jam for quite some time, and now you think maybe this is the one that I'll do. This is definitely the one to hop into. You got a full week to dive into it, and
tons of stuff to win, lots of categories to win in, lots of people out there, and also the raffles. So if you're not entering, why not? Go do it. It's awesome.
Yeah, so we'll have Aller here on site. He'll be helping us judge and talk through all the games and everything. Last time he streamed for 17 plus hours. It probably went further. That's kind of when I fell asleep.
Man, we're gonna have a really long stream.
Yeah, we were just chatting in the Slack channel earlier, and he's like, "You guys are gonna kill me." He's like, "I either die or I don't. I'm either gonna finish or I'm gonna die trying." So it's like, okay.
That man's a beast.
Yeah, he can make it work. So, really excited about that.
Yeah, really good stuff.
So yeah, and that kicks off next week, by the way. So if you're just tuning in, just hearing about it, on the 8th, we're gonna kick off on the live stream, and you have until the next live stream. So a full week on that one. So cool. And then we got 492. I was just chatting with Steven about this.
Yep, this is really great. We have a lot of really good new fixes in here. A lot of stuff that you're going to want if you're doing, I think it's the iOS 9 fix. There's there we go. There you go. That one's really important. There's a very good amount of great fixes. The parent-to-child blueprint, no longer being able to change default values of inherited variables. That's fixed. So It's really good.
There's tons of stuff in here.
Tons of
a
amazing
lot of this has
stuff.
come across from things that we found, things that you found, and
Yes.
we'll. I'm not really sure what we might have as far as another one goes, but check it out. Let us know. There's the announcement thread too that Steven's got up, or that I think that we put together, but him and his team are in there all the time, checking out what y'all are finding and seeing how we can address them. And by the way, wanted to also call out Steven's Twitter. It's the Epic Steven, at the Epic Steven.
At the Epic Steven.
He typically is like one of the first people that knows that this goes live.
Yep.
So you'll find it from the engine account maybe a few minutes, maybe a little bit later, but keep an eye on him too. He'll be like, hey, by the way, this is out there. We're like, oh yes, great. It's time for us to all go and check it out.
And it's always great after a stream where we say, yeah, go see the at the Epic Steven. And
Yeah.
he comes up to me, he's like, dude, I just got like 50 new followers. What's up? What's up with that?
So yeah, go check it out. Cool.
All right, cool. So the last thing here is the Sense of Presence VR documentary has part 2 is now up, and that's building virtual reality. Sense of Presence is a really great series. We're not going to roll through the whole video here, but you can see there's Palmer in the middle of like mid-sentence.
He's going, this right here. It's an Oculus.
Look at that.
Check out this headset.
It's really cool. This is going to be the future.
On that note too, there's we just got back from Oculus Connect, so of course we're all still buzzing from all the news and all the excitement there. But almost all the people that were there were at Oculus Connect, speaking in specific areas, and it's really great to get to meet and chat with all those people. These are like the industry leaders in VR, right, across the board, across the different. I guess even verticals, because there are filmmakers in here, there are game developers in here, there are hardware manufacturers, software manufacturers. It's a really cool time to be in VR right now. It's still kind of the wild west, where everyone's kind of working towards all of this amazing work together. We're solving the problems as a community, and it's really great. So I definitely recommend, if you're interested in VR at all, check out that series. Get to know who these people are, and if you can find them somewhere, say hello.
All the really cool big players kind of show up at some point or another. So
I'm just waiting for Oasis at this point.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, it's funny at Oculus Connect, everybody that signed up got a Ernest Cline signed Ready Player One copy in their bag.
Oh,
I
man.
didn't know they were autographed.
I gave you mine last time we got one,
so
but
I have like a regular copy.
I'm gonna hang on to this one. So
I think you should. I think that makes sense.
Oh, that's huge. I finished my first read through right before GDC, and I got to demo VR for people. So
you're like,
watching that happen, it's just like, this is the future.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty great.
Great stuff.
All right.
Next up, we have Community Spotlight. I'm going to start off by reading off who is our top Answer Hub contributors of the week. Okay, so sorry. First up, we have Shadow River.
Surprise. Yeah.
Once again, just
Shadow is
dominating the
everywhere.
charts. If someone wants to try to take down Shadow River, it's pretty impressive, but kind of difficult. So Jackie, again, another repeat winner. Really good. This is a new one though. Slayaman. I hope I said that right. It's one of those like all one word. But congratulations, it's another Answer Hub Sage badge winner.
Yeah.
Good job.
Congratulations, and we should be rolling those badges out as soon as we can. The team's up there.
I tend to do them either today or the next day.
Yeah. Great. Cool.
Once we have it up. So next up we have Community Spotlight. Whoa. Okay, that was fancy. All right. All right, Polyworld for Unreal Engine. This is really pretty neat if you're making one of those like nice low poly. I don't know what this style is called, but I see it a lot now.
It's low poly, faceted. I mean, Quantum Theory is just amazing in general, and he totally rocks this style.
Oh, totally amazing stuff. Like, look at that. So lots of good stuff here. Definitely want to check it out if you're making a kind of cool, stylized, low poly kind of game. So
yeah.
Alrighty.
Announcing Polyworld.
Next up, Sphere Complex. This is actually by the Foyer, but his company is this one here?
Yeah, let's see. It's
OC Game Studio.
OC Game Studios. I think we have the minute video too. Shall we?
Yeah. Let's roll that. This is just you can tell it's kind of based off of the that Sphere template, but what he's done to it has made it this really awesome competitive fighting. I want to say fighting game. Actually, the way that it plays is just bam, smash them, take them out, gather these kind of cubes that kind of remind me of the Mario Kart cubes that give you a special power or something, and then you can take someone out really fast. Lots of great particle effect usage.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's like Mario Kart meets Marble Madness meets
Yep.
Rocket League-ish.
And and he's gone and made himself a forum post too with some nice GIFs where you can see the see everything in action.
A little bit of breakdown.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that you can kind of like wall run up a bit there using just your own force.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Some of those effects look familiar.
Some of them do.
I wonder if they came from the market.
All right. And yeah, he's also streaming the the development of it. So on the on that streaming Unreal Engine.
Yeah, we have a Twitch live streamers thread in the forums right now. It's actually probably going to get moved over to the wiki, so it's more easily manageable.
Yeah.
But if you roll back down to where the foyer was, you can find links to both the there it is, WF Moz, and then the Twitter channel for OC Game Studio. It's just at OC Game Studio. So really cool stuff.
Yeah, really amazing.
99% blueprints. That is so impressive.
Yeah, that's actually kind of the cool part about it is if you're wanting to learn blueprints and see it in action, that's where you go.
I know. I gotta ask everywhere we go. It's like, you know, are people being successful just building the games and blueprints? Is like all the time, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I'm finding it more and more and more. Ray and I were just chatting about this at Oculus Connect. It's like we're both old coders and we both like blueprints better. Like it's actually a lot more fun to work in. You know, it's a lot more easy, easy to do, and it feels better, and it works just the same, for us. So
totally. I mean, the stuff I've been seeing coming into the marketplace is just like wave after wave of mad science. It's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, all right. So the final piece of the community spotlight today is from Tom Lefex. I hope that's correct. Real-time VR biotic interactive laboratory. There's quite a few videos here.
Yeah, we actually got one cut too.
Yeah. So here we go. So yeah, this is supposed to be a kind of interactive experience where you can work in your lab, etc. It's sort of ArcViz. It's a very gorgeous kind of experience, and I think that there's a few things you can like poke around on and interact with.
Did I read VR in that too?
Yeah, it's VR compatible. This is
so VR, ArchViz.
Yep, ArcViz, full immersive kind of little experience here for someone who works in a kind of lab.
Wow.
Yeah, what I like about this video too, I think that this one's got it. You break out.
Yeah, there you go.
This moves out right here, but I think right here where you can kind of make some edits that will like let you move things around in the scene and kind of take a look at what you want to build with the layout of the specific spaces. So I've met a lot of people that have tried to do this similar in not just architecture but in other building industries, right? Like if you're handling things like AC or lighting, being able to visualize what it's going to look like in your building, how it's going to actually affect your space. With something like that, that's like infinitely powerful, right? Like
really good,
like crazy.
Really good building.
Oh, it's amazing
for this kind of setup. Yeah,
cool,
neat stuff. Really cool.
Yeah. So thanks, and as always, if you want to get into the community spotlight, find us some way. You can reach out to us on Twitter. There's a number of Slack groups, or there's one big Slack group that a lot of
the Unreal Slackers channel.
Unreal Slackers channel. There's a lot of people in there that share. There's a couple Skype groups. So find one of us. You want to get connected.
Drop me a PM on the forums if you've got something you feel it's polished and cool looking. Send it on over. We'll definitely we'll consider anything. It's awesome.
Twitter. There's multiple ways to find us. We're everywhere.
We're kind of all over.
Ubiquitous.
Yes, we do our best.
You're all there.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk marketplace.
Let me hand this over to you then.
Yeah. About a year ago, I'd say maybe a little bit more than that. We actually kicked off the marketplace for developers to be able to go in and find content and make purchases that would help them flesh out their games. And we had this kind of a manual process of bringing in content to the marketplace from creators. It was very much relationship driven. We would work through everybody through the early days because we really wanted to get something out that we could iterate on with the community, so we would know kind of what pain points we would run into and what you guys would want specifically. So it's come a lot in the last year, John. Yeah.
Oh, tremendously.
Yeah.
Far. We've
sorry. Go ahead.
So originally we launched with the public Trello boards to get a sense of what the community was interested in,
right?
And just to be able to get an idea of, okay, here's everything that's been submitted to this category for blueprints, for characters, for weapons, props, animations, basically everything, just to find out, like, okay, it's a new marketplace. We're starting out from scratch. We've always been a community-oriented company. Let's find out what people are actually interested in and vote on. So after a while, it got to the point where people started, voting up the content we wanted, or they wanted. We got a sense of, what they were interested in, what they're asking for the most. Then past a certain point, people started saying, just, we trust you guys. Just we want stuff. We're building things, and we want to see these things now. We just don't want to keep checking back to the Trello boards and hoping it'll come out so I can add it. I just want it now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, especially after GDC, the amount of content that started coming in after going free, absolutely staggering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think, I think my phone was giving me notifications every 15 minutes from GDC until June. It was absolutely staggering.
You have to get a second phone. You plug one in that can just buzz all the time, and then you use it for, I don't know, nothing.
Basically. So yeah, the demand was just immense, and everybody kept saying, hey, just start publishing things now. We want to see it now. So we retired the public Trello board and just started publishing content pretty much as quickly as we could get it and test it. We've also been listening to the community and getting a sense of what they're looking for in terms of quality control, and got an idea of the kind of things that we need to test for. So instead of waiting until the very end of the voting period to get the content, we started requesting the files before we'd even get to voting, while voting was still going, so we could do more effective QA. Essentially, we run through everything we get in the marketplace as an end user would, just to see, okay, is this as advertised? Does it work the way it's supposed to? Is it clean, well put together? And with the feedback we've been getting from the community, we've really revamped our overall QA process to just gradually increase the quality of what's ultimately published. And so I've spent the last several months with the team finding ways to just start chopping down on the time it takes to get published on the marketplace. And one of the last big barriers was signing the marketplace distribution agreement and getting the bank information and the tax information we need.
Legal and
just that kind of stuff.
The business side.
It could take anywhere from days to weeks, depending on what country they're in, or whether or not they're able to sign the form from DocuSign correctly. Basically, it would take from days to weeks. So last month, we finally released our publishing portal, which has taken the amount of time it takes to sign up to submit content to the marketplace, get all your legal bases covered, from weeks down to literally minutes.
That's great. Yeah, I think that it's one of those things that it was a number of weeks, and every step was like, okay, how can we break this down an entire week? How can we cut a week out of this, just because we want to make sure that turnaround for you as a creator is as small as it can be, but at the same time we want to still drive that high quality experience for people that are going to purchase things from the marketplace itself. So it was all in that manual. I want to get your content over. Let's make sure it works really great in Engine. Let's check it before the end user gets it, run through all the QA, and we still have a lot of those kinds of things in place, but that has gone from down to where we can actually have really meaty releases week over week, right?
Oh yeah, the quality content has gone up just tremendously. Between 4.8 and 4.9's release, we've nearly doubled the amount of content in the marketplace, and it's still growing. Like in the early days when we were still figuring out okay, what's the most efficient way to QA the content, get people signed up, and publish this, and have everything work perfectly. We started out doing maybe 5 releases a week. Now, and we'd be adding new things at the last minute as we get them in. Now we're up to anywhere between 10 and 15 releases every week, and I think we're slotting out weekly releases into November now. So whenever we get about 5-ish weeks out, we start adding more content to the nearest releases just to start getting those dropping sooner.
Yep. Yeah.
And last month, when we released Showdown, the Infinity Blade content, and Infiltrator week after week, I'm still catching up on sleep.
Yeah, that was the fun. We're really excited to get those out to everybody else too. But yeah, it was a rush. It was like one thing, the next thing, the next thing, and it's great. It was a lot of intensity, a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, but honestly, the community reaction has just been outstanding, especially for the Infinity Blade stuff, since that came out in the marketplace tab. Everywhere, just like a Reddit, Facebook, Twitter. Everything everywhere just completely blew up with thanks and shock and gratefulness. And I even had people found my phone number and were texting me at midnight on a Friday to ask me questions about it and go, "Holy crap, is this real? This actually happened." It was quite an onslaught, but I'm looking forward to seeing what people are.
An onslaught of positivity.
Exactly.
Killing me with kindness.
Seriously, it's been the only like even remotely negative thing I heard in relation to any of it was why didn't we have this sooner?
Yeah.
It's all just positive, want. Thank you, Epic.
Yeah.
So it's been cool being on that side of it to be able to gradually increase and improve our process, speed up how fast people can get signed up, and just push the amount of content we can release on a regular basis and keep ramping it up and up and up. Like we're up to I think 175 unique sellers now. We've had, to my knowledge, 4 people quit their full-time jobs to start selling content full-time.
That's fantastic.
One of them is actually working upstairs right now. Epic is his first client after quitting his job and starting his own company. He's one of the top mocap guys at Microsoft.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, and he's doing very interesting things.
Cool. Yeah, I'm sure.
But yeah, it's been a heck of a year just seeing how far everything has come. And in the coming weeks, we're also going to be in our publishing portal. Opening up real-time sales data to everybody that's selling content in the marketplace, which is has been another big request.
Yeah.
In the next few weeks, we're going to roll out a new publishing tool that we're testing internally that will let, and eventually, once we're done testing it, let marketplace content submitters submit content directly into our catalog. So we're not inputting it manually ourselves. They can go into our catalog and edit the description, screenshots, send updates, submit new versions, keep the version compatibility updated from version to version to crunch down the time it takes even more.
Oh, yeah.
Basically removing
the middleman there. Yeah, that's really great.
Precisely. So when all that's in place, instead of us manually entering everything, it's going to go into a moderation queue for us. So we just go through like, oh, okay. It's like, look, that looks good, publish. That looks good, publish. That looks good, publish.
Yeah.
You can't say that, no.
Yeah, there's always the the odd little thing here and there, but honestly, the community feedback we've been getting, especially in the forums. So the thing I essentially replaced the public Trello with was just driving people toward the forums, saying like, look, everybody that's creating content, using the content, and requesting the content goes here anyway.
Right.
Start support threads for your content.
Yep.
So, and because as a marketplace seller, you have a responsibility by our contract to continuously update your content for each new version, and you have to support your customers. If they have problems with the content, if there are bug fixes to be done, you have to be there for them, or you're not welcome to sell in the marketplace.
Right. Yeah. The last thing we would want to see is somebody, make something that's really killer and put it out there, and a lot of people really dive in and, kind of end up, up a creek a little bit. And so that's part of, the agreements and everything there. But the support thing's really great. The forums are, a really great place for everyone to have that discussion. With the people that made it right there inside the community. And I think that's what's really cool about it. It's not just like email back and forth. No, you're actually part of the whole ecosystem, right? Like you see this person helping you out there, but I might also see them going and chatting about blueprints. You know what I mean? Like that's
yeah.
pretty cool. I love that sense of identity.
Yeah, so it's like an identity and community, and it's an amazing way to be able to promote yourself and your content. I've heard time and time again, people are more likely to purchase content from people they've seen on the forums that they trust. Like, I'm not sure if I'm willing to drop, like $50 or $60 on that blueprint, but he has a support thread he's answering every single day. He pitches in on other people's threads to answer a question. He's on Answer Hub. Like, this is a guy that's there. I've seen how good he is with people. I've seen his stuff look awesome.
This is probably trustworthy, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
And Epic is ready to, and I'm ready to step in personally if content isn't being updated. If you're not responding to your customers or if there's an issue, you don't want an email from me about it. But by and large, everybody's been really good about it, and I think it's honestly, I've been running the marketplace in the back of my mind sort of as like an entrepreneur incubator, in a sense. So I hold people to an extremely high standard, and with the help of my team, QA, I'm going through QA and quality control for everything, making sure everything is as good as it can be, make sure it's accurately represented. We're pretty hard on people, but still, the number of people that are selling, it's growing more and more, and I'm seeing a lot of people coming back, getting better and better, and really taking a lot of pride and ownership in what they're publishing. It's amazing.
No, I really dig it. So you've actually got an account set up right now on the publishing portal, so you can kind of walk through.
So I just drag it over? Or?
Yeah, drag it to the right side.
Yeah.
No, you missed it.
What have I done?
What have you done?
No.
It's fine.
Good grief.
Control W that.
Curse my fat fingers.
You're opening up all the wrong tabs.
Yeah, just close
like
this.
literally everything.
I think you just put it behind the other one. So.
Whoa.
I swear I'm better at computers than this.
There you go.
Yeah, trust me to run things.
Shelly just shut the computer on us.
Yeah, that was great. Great transition, Shelly.
Thanks, Shell.
Okay.
You're the best.
So this is the brand new publishing portal. So I've created my own account in here. It's very, very simple. So this tab is the seller profile.
You're gonna get a bunch of emails to that email address now.
Yeah, I know. I originally was entering sort of like fake bank information, but dropped a couple like Marvel and DC references in there. Then I decided, let's just do PayPal. So you can set up your public seller name, which shows up on all the content that you have published on the marketplace.
And on the website and everything else like that too, right?
Correct.
Really quick on the marketplace thing, I want to bring it up before we forget.
Sure.
Comments on marketplace right now. Comments across everything are kind of broken. It's something that John's been asked about a lot, something I've been asked about a lot. The team is actually looking into right now. We've got like a little bit of an intense bug on the back end, so we're digging through it now. We expect to have something hopefully by the end of the week. If not, look out for it next week. So we're working on it. We promise it'll be back. Sorry.
It will return and it will become even cooler soon. More on that after I show the publishing portal.
Sure.
Just like we're basically in 2 months of nailing all the major community requests. It's great to see it shake out.
Great.
So this is where you set up your support email address, where on your marketplace content, when people have an issue, they email you. This is the email address you set up for that. I strongly recommend setting up a unique dedicated address. You check for that, because commingling your personal email and your marketplace support email can get kind of messy. And plus, it looks more professional if you have like your own .com or a dedicated address for that. So you can include the website where, like for your portfolio or your services. Because I've always seen the marketplace, in addition to being a place to publish content and I can sell content to Unreal Engine developers, it can also serve as a promotion platform for your services or other things that you do. So it's a great way to get noticed, and we've started doing more community spotlights for sellers and themed flash sales, and really pushing up the the mercantilism. Hey, here's this talented person. Look at all the things they do.
Yeah, definitely. It's almost like not another archetype of community member, because we have so many. We have artists, designers, all these things, but they can all also be content creators for marketplace. And we've had them in blogs, we've had them in showcases, we've had them in sales, we've had them in everything, and it's really cool. Like your monthly blogs just like dive into all this really intense conversation about these individual packs that are coming out and what's cool about them all. And I think that's great. It's actually it actually gives more of a brand to them. You know what I mean? Like
that's why I'm really glad to hear you say that and to see you get that, because everything that comes in, everything we publish is special, and it's there for a reason. We've looked through it, we think it's awesome, and we want to highlight all the cool things that not only end users can use to create that with, but also to show other sellers, oh my gosh, this is actually possible, and this is a kind of thing that's cool that people are really interested in. Pay attention to this guy. Maybe it'll inspire you, give your own ideas. Maybe you guys could team up on something.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we've actually seen that. We're having that discussion about so somebody's got a marketplace pack and they're wanting to build something off that marketplace pack. What does that look like? You know what I mean? Like people, because it's like, yeah, I like what you do. It's like, oh yeah, let's see how we can make these things work together. And so some new challenges there. But
oh, totally. Well, to that end, I actually was having a meeting with my marketplace team this morning. We're discussing for each monthly blog release, have one of our marketplace team members put together several different pieces of content into a scene to show how it can all work together based on whatever was released that month. So he'd been doing that kind of on his own for fun in the background. He just dropped that on me yesterday, and I thought it was an amazing idea. So
that's awesome.
We're going to start pushing for that, just to get a sense of how all these different blueprints of VFX, audio, characters, animations, environments can work together based on, here's the medley of this month's release. Here's what's possible.
Cool. That's awesome.
So I'm excited about basically every possible facet of this.
Yeah.
Back to the publishing portal. I'll go through this quickly. So this is the private information that we actually that we need internally at Epic to be able to know who you are and be able to look you up and be able to help provide customer service and so on and so forth. So this is handled in the initial sign-up process. Then there's the payout information tab, which is very interesting because people like getting paid for the cool things that they do, and I understand. I do too. So this is where you can add your bank account or PayPal account and update it, and it will securely store this information in our system, and our finance department is able to hook into this and remit payments through this, instead of going through sort of a convoluted process we had before. So whereas it would take anywhere from an hour or two maybe, or a day to gather all the information. This is super streamlined, straightforward, easy to sign up into, and it's stored here for you to update when you need. And then the tax information, which admittedly, yes, yawn, but it's very important because at the end of the year, you don't want someone knocking on your door and demanding money from you. So this is where all the tax information is stored, and this is all, again, stored securely. So you fill out all your information here. You can if you're from the U.S., you upload your W-9 form, and that's stored in our system safely and securely. And just these three things, together represent several days of time saved. And then when you get to the point of submitting to the marketplace, you title your submission, enter your description, video URL, if you have one. If you have a blueprint or animations, you should. It's amazing. We've actually had some people submit animations without a video. I have a good imagination, but
yeah.
No.
But I mean, when you're honestly though, when you're filling out a ton of things, it's easy to forget one little thing. But fortunately, there's form validation here that'll help remind you. So this is where you drop in your screenshots. This is where you set the price of your content. You choose what platforms you've actually tested this on, because before we,
what platforms is this for?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Most people would check every box because checking boxes is fun.
Yeah, Unreal Engine deploys to all of these, so yeah.
It must work everywhere, right?
Exactly. So we changed the wording to verify the platforms it's actually been tested on, and so that makes it a little bit clearer.
Yeah, and a quick nuance there too, like. It's not because assets can't be compatible across platform, of course. It's really, with mobile, we all know, mobile and VR both, there's some specific restrictions around what you can actually do or how you build content for them. If you have like a 8 million poly, dragon with like 4K maps, he's probably not going to run so great on an iOS device, right? And so this is basically to set expectations for those that might be a, prospective buyer of this to say, oh, great. This has actually been run and verified that it works on iOS and Android versus this should work on iOS and Android.
Exactly.
In theory,
It's more factual and less, sure, why not? That's a thing.
Yeah.
So we've also updated our technical specifications requirements to indicate texture size, polygon count, the amount of objects in the scene, and everything specific to, so for sound effects, like the number of cues, whether or not they're looping, whether or not they have a distance attenuation involved. For FX, there are specific details for that. So we require those from all sellers now before publishing the content. And once we release the publishing tool where sellers can update their own content themselves, we're going to require everything on the marketplace before the technical specifications are updated to be updated by them. Because we're still updating that based on individual requests now, and I wouldn't do that to my team.
That'd be a lot of work.
Yes, but then at the end of this, when you get to sorry about that, when you get to the end of this and fill all this out and you're ready to submit, that's where you accept the marketplace distribution agreement, and that in itself, it's just a EULA now. You don't have to go to DocuSign. You don't have to worry about any weird software or whether or not you have Flash installed. You click accept. And it's agreed upon, and then this drops into our inbox and we review it.
Ideally, you read it first.
Well, yes. Yeah. Strongly recommend reading.
I mean, I read the iTunes one every time.
Yeah, I read all of that iTunes updater. Yeah, every time there's an update, the entire
every time.
thing.
Yeah, like every time there's new iTunes, like you don't respond for the whole afternoon. Is that what you're doing?
But that's great too, because it keeps the whole back and forth of email, kind of out of the question too, because things get lost so easily, with spam filters or with somebody super swamped. Like maybe you're, all you do is you have somebody packs in here, all you're getting is a bunch of support requests. You're talking to a whole lot of people, and then we ask you, hey, I need this, and then you're just like, yeah, it's just gone. Like, oh, I totally missed that, right? Like this gives you a place to actually, check that unboxing your own, without having to, wait for some other weird correspondence.
Exactly. It's a massive improvement in speed. Like literally, getting all these things signed in some cases has taken several weeks just to answer these questions or make sure it's the right email address or verify this information.
Right.
It's never been easier to sign up to and submit content to the marketplace, and we're live. It's going wide, and I strongly recommend if you have something really cool for the marketplace, or if you're thinking of publishing something into the marketplace. Just come sign up and be a seller. Check out our forums, and also looping back to what you were saying about the comments being fixed soon. We're actually in the next few weeks. I've seen this in our game dev test environment. We're going to have all of the web marketplace features inside the launcher, including search and comments and ratings.
Yeah,
which is
so that's a big step forward. I think
I can't tell you how much I've been raving for search. in the launcher.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's really nice we had it in the web too, but then the web kicks you back to the forums. There's kind of a little bit of janky workflow there. Everyone's at the forums back to the launcher. There's a little bit of a strange workflow there, but yeah, having all this there, I know it's been asked a lot, and so I'm excited to see that roll out too.
Oh yeah, when I launched it in our game dev test environment for the first time, and I saw that, I just did a double take, thinking it's here, I love you, it's here.
There may have been a tweeted picture or something about that. Who knows?
I don't know. Just like little Batman or something.
There was a like this MMA fighter sent out a tweet about it.
Johnny Bones. Great.
Oh, for God's sake, yeah.
I do wonder sometimes if he gets stuff like, hey, I submitted something to the marketplace, like the UFC fighter Jon Jones.
I hope so.
Yeah. Sitting around I swear I'm not a content curator.
We're doing it right, y'all.
What's a blueprint? I punch people.
Yeah.
I hope he says that. Like, yeah, my job, I punch people.
With everything we've got here too, you mentioned it briefly there, but like, how do developers get started selling their content? Do they come here first? Do they contact Marketplace at Epic? Where do they go? Like, I'd say now I've seen this is great. I'm ready to dive in. I've got something that I've built, or I've got something I've been building, and I want to at least start setting all this up. Do I just go to publish.unrealengine.com and get started?
Yep. Just hit publish.unrealengine.com, sign up for a seller account. Just to be able to sign up, you don't even have to enter your payout information or tax information. At first, you can sign up in literally 30 seconds or less.
See, then you've got that account associated with your Epic account that's already logged in here too, and so. That's great. We've if you don't mind, I think it's under Marketplace, right? Like the publishing section up on the forums.
Yes.
Let's see, where are you?
Submit your content.
Yeah, submit your content will take you there. And so, yeah, we've got a number of different. Yeah, he's already logged in. So, but this microphone is gonna kill me. I'm just leave it. So, also with Marketplace up there, the web marketplace is still online. We've got that there. There's all kinds of different resources. I mean, there's a whole forum section underneath the Unreal Engine top forum section that John and the team spend lots of time in, answering questions. And there's some really great, stickies up there too about, what's just been released, community feedback wanted. Do you want to see this or that? There's really great dialogue back and forth here too. And I even put this thread up like right when we got started. With Marketplace, like, what do you want to see in here? And so if you're looking at if you're a creator, if you're building something or you want something to work on, I suggest diving through this thread and seeing what doesn't exist yet, because that means somebody's wanting that, right? Like, and if you've got the ability, there's nothing stopping you from go ahead and making it and submitting it.
Just look through here. There's tons of great suggestions. Lots of the stuff still, like from the first page, even tons of these suggestions never got done. And you know what? I'm gonna throw this out here. We still don't have first-person arms. Just saying. Like nice pair of first-person arms, grabbing stuff, thumbs up.
I mean, we have the ones that are in the templates.
Yeah, you got the template arms.
I love rolling the camera out and watching the template arms go by themselves.
Yeah, like the arms are just ghosting around.
It's my favorite thing. I love video games.
Well, and in addition, if you have something you're not that already created, and you're not sure whether it's for the marketplace or not. We have a thread tag called gauging interest.
Yep.
So you can post there and say, and post screenshots saying, hey, here's what I have in development. Is this something people would be interested in buying? And people that create marketplace content and purchase it will chip in and say, like, yeah, actually, this is really interesting.
Yeah.
I've been wanting this for a while. Have you considered this kind of feature? It's like, oh, well, no, I'm not. I hadn't really thought about that. How would that work? Someone else will chime in, and it turns into just a spontaneous dev conversation.
Yep.
And then that can turn into a work in progress thread, where people can see what you're working on, like as it's updating, and you can use that as a means of promoting your content for when it's eventually submitted to the marketplace and then published.
Yeah.
And then those evolve into a submitted thread, so people will know, like, all right, it's in the marketplace queue.
Yeah.
And then it evolves to a support thread. So once it's finally published, you can actually see the entire lifetime of a submission from, hey, does anybody think this is a good idea, to it's released, how can I help?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I dig it too, and they can kind of see, like, why did you make this decision? Well, there's like four pages behind you. You can see kind of how we got here, right? But if you've not used prefixes in the forums, they're super powerful. They're easy for you to go through and actually hop through and look specifically for things. Like, you can roll to the bottom of any of these pages and filter an entire forum by there they are right there, submitted and requested and released. But yeah, I suggest using them because it's a lot of us here, for the feedback forums or for general discussion, we'll use them in specific areas. And even the marketplace team, they use this to kind of see, okay, great, here are all the ones that are kind of work in progress still. So you can kind of see what might be on the horizon that we might see, and then submit it. It's like, yeah, I do have all this stuff, So.
And people, people ask. They're really excited. Like, hey, when's this going to be published, or are there any updates on this? People get kind of fanboy about it, which is a lot of fun. And here's one example of a support thread. So the UMG minimap from John Alcatraz. So he started the support thread in April, and he's still posting on it, supporting people as recently as yesterday.
Nice.
So like 6 months after release, he's still in there talking to people, coming up with new feature ideas, sending us updates. And the idea is that everything on the marketplace is a supported living product.
Right.
We don't require people to add new features over time. We just require them to fix bugs the community finds and keep it updated to each new major point release.
Right.
And speaking to each new major point release, I just right before the Twitch stream, I sent out an email to all of our sellers requesting everybody update their content to 4.9 compatibility. So my bad, we were a little bit slow on messaging this because in previous releases, 4.7, 4.8, etc., the marketplace team would set aside a week or however long it took to manually test literally every piece of content on the marketplace, make sure it worked, and then manually copy the files over into the new point release version directory, check it in, then publish it, and then add that compatibility. So between 4.8 and 4.9, we went from, I think, 270 pieces of content to 480. And I did the math. It would have been 6 man weeks worth of full-time work for my entire team to do that and nothing else. So the scale of it didn't really register until right after 4.9 came out. So
which is it's a really great thing. It means we've got so many people that are making and selling content up on the marketplace now. It's a problem we've grown into, right?
It's a good problem to have.
Totally.
It's great. Yeah.
How do we hold all this awesome stuff?
Yeah.
Like really.
How do I hold all these limits?
Exactly. Like that was honestly like the first really big, like, oh my gosh, we're actually this big kind of moment.
Yeah.
So we've updated the policy now so that for all marketplace sellers, we request that you submit your content, your updated content into the next major point release, in this case 4.9, within 10 days of that release. So the 10-day policy will go into effect with the next version because 4.9 came out, then we made the policy. We would not expect that retroactively. That would be that'd just be silly. But for the most part, if it's just pure art content or pure assets and not blueprints and whatnot, you won't actually have to. You won't actually have to. My eyes are up here. You won't actually have to do any real fixing or bug fixing or make changes. All we need you to do is just drag it into a new project, make sure nothing breaks, and then submit that to us. It's very simple. I posted on the forums about it a little bit ago and sticking it to the top. Marketplace 4.9 content updates requested. I've contacted all of our sellers, and the Marketplace team is publishing these as fast as we can. In the future, once we have the publishing tool released to the public, you'll be able to submit your updates directly into the catalog. But for right now, this is we're doing basically a run on getting everything updated to 4.9 as quickly as possible. We've done, I think, at last count, we're north of 100 packs updated so far. So
that's great.
Yeah, the next couple of weeks is going to be bringing everything up to parity and making it easier moving forward. So my apologies for not messaging this out sooner, but this is the official policy now, and we're doing the best we can to get everything up to date.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
That's really great to hear. We're excited about where we've come from, where we are now, and where we're going next. So it's been a great ride with a lot of back and forth with a lot of important people, all of you, to make sure that we're building out the tools exactly as you should expect them to be. So keep that feedback coming. Like, it's something that it's across the board at Epic.
We live off feedback.
It's like
if you guys don't tell us we're doing something wrong, we can't grow.
I just saw a really great Twitter tweet come across that was like, guys, I can't fix the bugs you don't tell me about. It's just from some random developer. I was like, so you got to tell us. It's the same kind of thing here too. UE has been sort of a living project in it. We don't anticipate it stopping and being feature complete, right? We're going to find new ways to optimize and new features to add as time goes on. And so it's just going to be a continued dialogue with everybody on just about every touch point of the engine. So keep it coming. We got the feedback forums here. Like I said, John and the team are super active in the marketplace forum here where a lot of that conversation happens. And yeah, just hit us up if you need anything. For the most part, it's been great working with you all. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And can I plug the Marketplace support email address?
Yeah, go for it.
So marketplace-support@unrealengine.com. Whether you're a buyer or a seller, if you have an issue with content or need to get something updated or have a question, we process those requests before virtually anything else we do. So if you need anything, marketplace-support@unrealengine.com. Hit us up. We're there. We're waiting, and I have an alert to make all of my devices vibrate across my desk anytime an email comes in.
Oh,
So drain my battery, please.
Nice. So we got about 10 more minutes. So I'm gonna hop into some questions here that have come in. Some of these we've already asked, but I want to reiterate now for anybody that might be tuning in a little later. When is support and search filters coming to the marketplace version? So anything we have on the web. John mentioned earlier that we are actively working to move that into the launcher within the next few releases, right? Like what was the time frame, Mitch?
The very near future.
Very near future. Great. So yes, was something we've all wanted very badly, and we're really excited to see it come on board. Status of C++ plugins. So we had really rudimentary support for it in 4.8, and it was changed a little bit in 4.9. I know we've got the Substance one up there too. Do we have any hardcore updates about that at this point?
Yes, that's actually been half of my week this week. So I'm talking to somewhere in the range of 30 different plugin providers right now. So each individual company, and so the two big hurdles have been finding out what license terms we can accept and whether or not there are dependencies. For example, a free plugin that uses a GPL library that has a strike point at which, let's say you're making, so it's free up to $500,000 a year in revenue, and then licensing terms change and you have to start paying. Figuring out a way how we can, with our existing EULA, legally accommodate that or not, and use that as a criteria for whether or not we can allow them onto the marketplace. The second is, in a lot of these cases for different kinds of code plugins, 1 seat per license is a requirement, whereas by default, all marketplace content is basically, buy it once for a team, use it for as many projects as you need forever.
Right.
So a lot of the code plugin companies we've been dealing with are actually, they're less individual people submitting content and more like established businesses with entire engineering teams, licensing terms, and even their own independent financial and billing systems. So we've been doing a lot of tech work to find out how we can accommodate which types of plugins in what time frame and what tech we need to build on our back end to be able to support the 1 seat per license. So that has been most of my last 6 weeks, figuring out how those policies work. I have a sit down tomorrow with everybody involved in that to basically find out what are the policies we have today. And right now we have, I think, 15 to 18 code plugins files in review, and we're getting them set up on the marketplace and staged and ready to publish in the near future.
Got it. Yeah, and a lot of this process comes strictly around trying to protect, your property, right? Like with art, there are a lot of, or like art and other assets, content type deals. There are a lot of other paradigms that are kind of industry standards about how licensing goes about. There are very few models, right, that come across with that. But when you're talking about tech specifically, not that this is one of the things that we're going to do necessarily, because I can't speak to it, but there's some that are subscription based, some that are per seat, per team, per project, or per studio across, and whatever matrix of all those things kind of jumbles together. So we really want to make sure we get everything kind of crossed and dotted for whenever we do kind of open the floodgates for everybody to kind of submit in, they actually have an option that fits their business model.
Precisely. So we're getting really close with all of that. It's been a very, very good week for that.
Cool. So let's see. I got one here for me about the Epic Mega Jam. I saw you wanted people to mention if assets were original. Could you be more specific? Do you mean sound effects? Can you use already made texture presets? Yeah, I would say mostly this is on models since we've got specifics around visual quality of things. There might be some differences with we've got Algorithmic that's hopping in, and they've got their guest judge for this time too. So we at least want that information to say, did you as an artist create all these things yourself, or is this something that you kind of picked up and you made do it with? So it's It's not going to necessarily tip the scales one way or the other, but it's just information that we would like to have. So it's not a requirement either way to go all original or to not. But this whole jam has got a lot of new things that we're trying out. Where it's the first time we're doing random drawings, first time we've got partner prizes, first time we're giving an entire week, first time we have some minimum requirements, and so we're trying out a lot of new things. So yeah, that's kind of the short of that. If you have more questions about that, you want to talk through it with me, happy to hop into the thread about the jam, and I'll basically be living that thing from now until next Thursday, just making sure everything is ready to go and we can hit the ground running on the 8th. But yeah, feel free to follow up if you need further clarification there. All right, let's see.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's cool to have everything purchased from Marketplace that show up in the library section of the launcher. How can that content be made available to others in the same company as opposed to just my projects?
Excellent question. This is something we've done before. Just email us at marketplace-support@unrealengine.com and give us the Epic IDs, which is the address you sign into the Unreal Engine with when you launch it. Send us those email addresses for each member of your team that you need to have access to it, and we'll set that up for you as quickly as we can. It's very easy to do, and we'll work on a more elegant way of doing that in the future. But for right now, we can turn that around pretty quickly.
Yeah, we don't necessarily have right now the concept of teams, right? Like team accounts outside of a specific one. But yeah, that's great that we have a solution for it. What's in demand right now?
Honestly, what I've been seeing selling the most is blueprints and assets that can be used to prototype easily. Like Aller's generic shooter has been absolutely incredibly popular. People that can get a good blueprint set or a good prototype character or basic animations.
Like the block out level that Zaorb did.
Oh yeah, Super Good's amazing.
Yeah, super good.
Yeah, so things like that sell extremely well, and people love the idea of being able to go through and shop around and say, okay, I have kind of an idea for a game. Here's like maybe like an RTS or turn-based strategy, something that can basically kickstart their idea and get them prototyping it out. Even if it's not necessarily going to be like visually the most beautiful thing, just something they can drop in and have be visually representative and functionally representative of what they want to get.
Right.
Things that help people kickstart their initial idea are very, very big.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned like visuals not being necessarily that important on something like a prototype like this. Obviously we have really high quality art assets inside the marketplace too, but you look back at a lot of the best design iteration things or practices. Google the prototype screens for Splatoon, and it's hilarious, man. It's like something that you could probably put together in a few days in the engine just to kind of prove out the concept, right? Now Splatoon is a beautiful game, Nintendo color everywhere. It's got really rich effects, but it's like blocks with like little tubes, you know what I mean? And then like flat decals that's putting on the ground as it moves around, and then people just kind of roll through it. So yeah, those kinds of things that. I see extreme value in that, especially when you're trying to prove out an idea. Because games is a big investment, right? Like you got to iterate often, especially on design. Like design is kind of paramount with that, and then everything else kind of brings that to a head. So cool.
Absolutely, and especially like blueprints are, I think, our #2 best-selling category, just because people can componentize cool things like John Alcatraz's UMG mini-maps. No one else had done a mini-map, and this is something you can just drop into your project, and boom, that works. We released the Snap UI snaplets, which are modular UI elements for sliders, or like horizontal sliders and radial sliders and whatnot. You can click and drag and really easily flesh out into a meaningful UI system. All sorts of
I might need that for a project I'm working on.
It's pretty cool. They're highly complex if you go really, really deep into it, but at the base level, they're just super simple drag and drop setup, easy to work with. Like if you dig into it super deep, it looks like spaghetti, but they're powerful.
Yeah. Sounds like my projects. I got one here I'll grab real quick. If I use free assets that come on the marketplace, will I have to pay in the future based on sales? Will it cost more because I'm using your assets? So anything that comes across that Epic is offering for free they're for free to use in your projects regardless. They're still going to, your project will still, be under the 5% royalty on the EULA. But outside of that, those are yours. We release those to you to, kind of, basically kickstart your own projects in similar ways. We've got a lot of content, a lot of great things that we've done, and we've found that the best thing that we can do with them is hand them off and see what other people do with them, right?
Oh, totally. The creativity out there is just absolutely staggering. I'm constantly surprised at seeing the things in the forums and the things that come in.
Yeah. I just watched a video today of Darth Vader swinging around his lightsaber and the, last Infinity Blade. Last Infinity Blade pack release from a couple weeks ago. So, let's see. Let's see if we can maybe grab one more and then we got to wrap. Let's see. High demand. I got that. Oh, this one's actually a pretty interesting one here. I think everything else we've kind of touched on. But what if you as a seller want to move on and not continue supporting Marketplace? Do we have methods of sunsetting your own content?
Yes, we do. So if you're ready to just move on, you don't want to continue updating content perpetually, then we have a function called sunsetting, which will remove the content for sale for new customers, but all of your existing customers will still have that content in their vault and still be able to download it forever for all the previous versions of that content that have been published up till then, for like 4.5, 4.6, 0.7, 0.8, wherever the stopping point is, you can always have access to download each of those previous versions, but it won't be available for sale after that. So, so your customers are still respected and they have that content, and you can live your life away from us.
No, but at the same time, your customers, their support channel at that point would be, I suppose, to take any issues they have and then hop to the forums or Answer Hub and say specifically, I'm running into these issues with this asset in the error, and be able to help debug outside of having a proper channel for support at that point, right? Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, yeah, I guess that about wraps it for now. John, thanks so much.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
This. Yeah, I'm glad we could get an update on Marketplace. It's been way too long. Alex, thanks for everything. Shelly, you rock, as always. And everybody on the stream, thanks for tuning in. We will be back next week. We've got a VR related live stream on Tuesday. And then we're going to snag Nick and Nick to talk through the making of Bullet Train on next Thursday. So don't miss those. Yeah. I'm still kind of coming down from Oculus Connect and how much fun that was. So hopefully we'll get to actually demo it with hardware. I don't know. We'll see.
That would be
We'll
pretty
see
cool.
what I can make happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, everyone.
Yep.
See you next time.
See ya.
Bye.